it is. Either way, welcome to my floor. I'm Luna. I play games here, and I guess I'm just gonna jump straight into Genshin. I mean, I think we've finished the currently out um like actual parts, like main story, but we should be able to do some character stories. And I want to explore the desert, so we're going there. I'm getting some that I'm hoping will be desert related. But anyway, yeah. I'm just gonna go. I forgot that I actually picked the right one. And yes, I have not unlocked everything because I wanted to. I wanted to explore more here. Uh, you go to the desert auction site. Right. That's what we're doing. I am also just gonna actually activate this one so I can get that while I'm at it. Nope, nope. Trying to avoid the enemies, but sure. Okay, where is the teleportation point? That one. Oh, there are people here. Hello. Don't mind me. I'm just passing through. I'm falling. I'm dying. Yep. I didn't realize I didn't have any stamina left. Oopsie. Ooh, there's a scarab here. Did I grab the scarab? I did grab the scarab. Okay. Please wake up. There we go. Maybe I should attack now something now then. Hello. Oh. We're going in this way. Sorry. Okay. In place. Start the silly voices. Let's engage the silly voices.
So, if only there was some shade for us to cool off on, though.
Maybe we should take a break. We still have a long way to go. So you'll need to hang in there for a while longer. Not a good place to rest anyway.
Oh,
Of course, but I'm accustomed to these conditions.
yeah, he's a jackal. Care, care to share any tips? Paimon's about to melt away.
Just try to stay focused. Use your willpower to support your mind. The moment you start to give in is when you'll feel more tired. Take one step of another. Don't let your mind perceive your body's limitations. We must get somewhere safe before we can relax.
Okay, if you say so. But where would be a more safe place to rest? Paimon thinks this is a perfectly safe place to stop. Just look around. It's just sand and desert. There aren't any monsters for miles around. Where did those scorpions come from?
Watch out. Something's not right about him.
I'm gonna use you for health. Thank you very much. Let's wait.
Don't mind me. Just getting some help. Thank you. Can I use it again? Yay. More health. See, this is why weather is so useful.
You. Well, Paimon really didn't expect to see those here.
Those weren't just normal scorpions. See, there are marked numbers on their pincers. They were raised by someone. Those are numbers? So you mean someone doesn't want us showing up to the auction? These scorpions were sent to keep us away. Well, that seems like a very half-hearted way. We are surrounded by desert as far as I can see. Out here, nobody would ever know.
This place is super dangerous. Good thing we didn't let our guard down.
Something's not right. There are no roads in the desert, so how would they know where we are?
Are we being followed?
Stay still, Luan.
Tracker. Sneaky.
Here's the answer. They must have placed this on you.
Huh? What is it?
A miniature tracking device made by the Kshrevar. Sure. I was just like, I looked at that and I was like, I don't know where the letters are. This is just like reading fantasy books. They can use this to discern your approximate location. But this device wasn't licensed for mass production. Where did they get it? Could someone from the Kashrevar also be involved? That doesn't seem quite right.
Wow. Paimon never knew that kind of thing even existed. Why would it be on Luan?
They probably planted it on the traveler during our fight with the mercenaries earlier. I'm sorry, I didn't even notice. It was a frantic fight. It's only natural you didn't notice the device, especially if you've never seen something like that again before. Like I wasn't sure there were trackers in this universe. Sorry.
Well, good thing you were able to find it, Cyno. Now let's get rid of it.
No, hold on to it. It might still be useful for us. It's proof. And then we can get them to come to us. Let's keep heading to the auction. It would be dangerous to linger here any longer.
Why, yes. Hello. Where are we going? Over there. Thank you very much.
I'm just gonna switch to the traveler now.
Run.
Ooh, actually.
Oh, more health. Thank you very much.
I'm not gonna keep fighting them, I'm just gonna get full health. Oh, I'm at full health. Great.
They're back! How many are there?
We'll be fine. We've been in worse situations. Oopsie.
Continue heading to the... Leave me alone, thank you. Oh, hello.
Fire. Ooh. That's one. They're not timed, right? Don't look to be timed. That's one. That's one. Sorry, I know I'm getting sidetracked, but I wanted to explore, so I'm gonna explore. There, we need one more found as well, I think. Ah, there you are. Don't mind if I... Are we gonna be... See, I really like her in general, but she's really hard to use for these things. Because it's like, you can only get fire very seldom.
Let's just Beyblade while we wait.
3, 2, 1.
Go!
I think I might be in the silly mood today.
That's fine. I stream so I get to be silly. Let's go. Oi.
Okay. Focus. Cyno. Auction. Selling something. Right. The knowledge thingies.
Weird. Is this where the auction is?
There's nobody here.
Not a single soul. Maybe they're on a break right now or something.
Or maybe this is a trap. We didn't waste any time getting here after we defeated those mercenaries. I mean, technically it's been a week, but sure. They should have been able to. They shouldn't have been able to give any warning of our arrival. But even so, they still knew we were coming. Someone here must have been watching the tracker and warned everyone to clear out.
Oh, what should we do now?
We searched the area. They couldn't have moved all the knowledge capsules so quickly. There might still be something left for us to find.
Alright, let's take a good look around the area.
Investigate. Ordinary canned knowledge. Seems to have nothing to do with the Court of Desolation. Do we please tell me we actually get to go to the inverse pyramid? Because that is yes. Also, the inverse pyramid does remind me of Control, the game. Of like the bureau and stuff. A large amount of canned knowledge has been piled here, enough to fetch an extremely large amount of mora at the market. But then why would they leave it? Even if they knew we were coming, shouldn't have they brought their things with them? The scattered footprints have not been completely buried by the wind and sand, but it is impossible to speculate on the direction of the merchant's escape from the footprints. And one more. They left the cutie pie. I don't know what they're called. Stumper bees. Sumpter? Sumpter? The Sumpter beast is drinking water leisurely and seems to be completely unaffected. At least it's doing well. That's fine. Did you find anything?
No, nothing in particular.
Only some average looking capsules. It's possible there aren't many knowledge capsules containing info about the Court of Desolation, so they can. But don't worry, I have another idea. Luan, you two start heading back the way we came. I will remain. Come back and meet me here after some time has passed. I'm sure something will come up by then. So that's why you want to make the device. They packed up in a hurry and didn't have time to carry off all the goods. They won't just leave them here. Once they think we have left the premises, they'll be back to pick up their belongings. We just need to make sure the tracker goes far enough from here to make them assume that it's safe to come back.
Oh, Pikeman gets it. We'll lure them out because they'll think we've left. Okay, we'll start heading away and leave this place to you.
Just be careful. Yeah, and don't worry. If they dare to return, I'll make sure they stay. Good doggy. And yes, I'm gonna keep. Wait, where am I supposed to go? Over there. Sure. I guess we're going that way then. Ah, tea. Should just put in some more tea, actually. I'm almost out. I have one of those, like, um, pads underneath the tea kettle. I have an actual, like, kettle. And it keeps getting stuck, so anytime I lift up the kettle to put more tea, it, like, attaches to it and then just falls wherever. I think maybe I need to just clean it or something. It's not like I use it for anything else, though, so I don't know really. I mean, I guess it's just humid. Leave the auction with the tracker, leave the auction with the tracker, down we go. And down. No. I wanted to do a crashing one.
Oh, so tired. We probably go far enough for now, right?
I think we should go a little bit further.
Father,
Sorry.
but Pikeman can't go another step. How about we rest here for a while?
You sit and rest for a little while nearby.
Hmm, it's probably about time for us to head back to the auction. Let's go. Maybe Cyno's finally found some leads.
Look at all those stars. Oh yeah, I was thinking. We'll see if that actually becomes a thing, but I was thinking of, like, if I had like if there is ever actually followers and stuff. But like I could call people stars because like Luna means moon. I was like, oh, that's kind of a nicer way to like, because there's a lot of stars and they're pretty, and just in general I like stars. So I was like, hey, that could be nice. Absolutely no. I was gonna say no pressure, but it's not like. Okay, bye bye. No. Nah, I don't have time for you. I'm flying away. Bye bye. Bye. No. It won't let me do it.
Oh, looks like Paimon caught someone. So you're the bad guy behind all this, aren't you? Well, all right. Tell Paimon everything you know.
Does he know anything about smuggling? Does he have an important role in the auction? I didn't act immediately when he showed up. Rather, I laid low and observed for a while instead. He's not the primary instigator, but he's most likely one of the more important dealers here. Am I right? Yes, impressive. And you certainly lived up to your reputation, Cyno. If I had any idea you were still around, I wouldn't have gotten so greedy.
Huh? Greedy? What do you mean by that?
I wonder you were coming. All the can knowledge dealers abandoned their goods and fled at once. Obviously, there wasn't time to pack up everything. Since all the goods were just left here unsupervised, I thought I'd use the opportunity to come back and take what I could. You know, free merchandise is good business, but I suppose there's no use explaining it now. So he was like, well, it's already stolen, I might as well steal it again. You must know who's manufacturing and stealing the can knowledge, correct? Will you tell us willingly, or do I need to make you talk? No, I'll talk. But before that, perhaps we can take the conversation elsewhere. If we stay here, chances are that someone will see me with you. That would put both me and my family in danger. Alright, where to go? How about my home in Aru village? It should be safe there. Fine, let's head out. You can throw away the tracker now, Luan. Okay.
Listen, buddy, you better not try to trick us.
Where are we going now? You can try to pull anything under Cyno's watch. Seriously, what can I even do? Okay, I'm gonna teleport. Over there. Let's go here then. Yeah, I don't know what my mood is today. Sorry? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna apologize. I am weird. It's okay. Is that his daughter or something? Simin.
Dad, you're back. Oh, we have guests? Hi there.
This is my daughter, Simin. She can be a little shy to strangers. Why don't you run along now, dear? Dad needs to talk with our guests.
Oh, okay.
She was like, I want to talk with my dad. Everyone knows Cyno in our business, but let me ask, who are you two?
Paimon is Paimon, and this is Lan.
That is such a simple-minded answer, and I love it. Lone operator working with any partners. When I saw the tracker start moving away, I assumed you had decided to go back empty-handed. But if you caught me, I'd still urge you to stop while you still can. You should abandon this investigation. Why is that? Everything from the manufacturing of can knowledge to the sales and even splitting the profits. Every step of the process involves dozens, if not hundreds of people. Massive profits have brought everyone together in this business. Everyone will try their best to defend the industry that we work to build. It will be a long and difficult fight, even for you, Cyno. I mean, is it a business if it's illegal? Or like an industry, I mean. If it's illegal. Maybe it could still be called that, but I thought industry was like legitimate stuff. And even if you manage to win in the end, no one will thank you. If anything, you yourself might even feel remorse. Why are you so bent on putting us out of business? Sorry. Apparently, a lot of those today too. Everyone has their own reasons, but I don't have to explain mine. And she is yours.
Here's some tea, Dad. And for the guests, too.
Ah, right. I forgot to offer tea to our guests. Thank you.
I'll mention it. And, I should tell you that our tea tastes a bit bitter, but I put some sugar in to make it a little tastier.
That's my girl. Do you still have any sugar left? If not, I'll buy some more next time.
Yeah, we do. Okay, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna have a rest now.
No, he's actually smiling. He's like a cute kid. Didn't you say that everyone's in it for the profits? That sure doesn't seem to be the case for you. Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I was hoping to ask you for a favor. My daughter was born with a chronic disease. She has a relatively weak heart and lungs. Even slightly strenuous exercise can cause her to faint and prove to be a life. Be yeah, make my word blobs into songs instead. To be life-threatening risk. That's why she's never really had any friends to play with, and why she locks herself up in her room most of the time. She has to take lots of medicine, and it doesn't come cheap. As for me, I was just an average merchant. I would wake up early and travel all around to make a profit, but the more I was still nowhere near enough. I could only watch my daughter's health deteriorate day by day. Until one day, someone reached out and showed me a way to make a profit. Selling canned knowledge. That's right, more I made. I could finally afford medical treatment for my daughter. Nothing made me happier than seeing her get better. There are many others like me. Smuggling canned knowledge might seem like an unforgivable crime to you, but to us, it's a means of survival. All this so that maybe you can understand and change your mind. Please stay out of this, Cyno. Give us a way to survive.
Oh no! That means if we prevent the sale of canned knowledge, his daughter will.
I must get to the truth. I can find someone to help treat your child, but I cannot turn a blind eye to the smuggling. These are two completely different issues. I somehow knew you would say that, but having your word to help my daughter is enough for me. Since you insist on continuing the investigation, you should have a look around the back of my howl. You'll find some goods I received just recently. I think everything will become clear to you once you see them. Well, he's really helpful then. He doesn't seem like a bad person at all.
Wow! Look at all this stuff! Isn't it neat? Wouldn't your collections complete?
Also, there are some that have different colors. Those seem special. Yes, it's all neatly packed and away and organized in boxes. To think that this is only one dealer's worth. Small producers couldn't possibly support such a large quantity of goods. Hmm. Could academia have a hand in this? But such a volume of goods wouldn't be able to slip through inspection. Hmm.
Hey, look! These seem different from the other knowledge capsules we've seen. Maybe they contain knowledge about the Court of Desolation.
Yes, that would make sense. Wait, what's this? Some sort of marking we've never seen before. Do you know what it is, Cyno? I mean, I can't read it, so I'm just gonna go with that. Yes, it's the Matra seal, indicating that the goods have passed the Matra inspection.
But you are the General Mahamatra.
I started to suspect that someone in the academia might be involved when I found Tracker earlier, but how they could ship so much canned knowledge out of the academia was still a mystery. The pieces have now all fallen into place. With this Matra seal, goods can leave the academia without undergoing a second inspection. Oh my god, it really is a lot today. No wonder they don't want me to investigate. Turns out that a Matra is behind this. Even I find it hard to believe. It could be a misunderstanding. Could I ask you a favor, Luan? Since all this canned knowledge come from the academia, then it's highly likely that the knowledge regarding the Court of Desolation originated from the research files stored within the academia. If we can enter the repository, we can find out who accessed these files. Oh wait, I wanted to make his voice a bit more restrained. But considering my current status, if I suddenly show up at academia now, it will only draw unnecessary attention. You'll need to be the one who checks the records. I'll write a letter to Nabil and he'll take you there.
Sure thing. Leave it to us.
I'll also keep working here in the meantime. Although our leads are all currently pointing to someone within the academia, it's obvious that they also have power outside of it. We can get more information on other dealers from Bahari. I'll stay here and make some preparations. You can come find me anytime if you uncover more information.
Okay, okay, let's go, let's go. Recommendation. We have a letter of recommendation.
I mean, it is in academia, I guess.
Let's go to that one.
I've only ever had one letter of their recommendation written. I will add, and that's because we don't normally do that in Sweden. I had to get one for. Oh! What happened? How's everything going with your thesis? This must be another person's thing.
I should be able to publish it next month. A few days ago, I was worried that I'd have to stop my work on it. Thankfully, it didn't come to pass.
Well, Azar was one of your thesis advisors. Honestly, I was afraid that you might have gotten dragged down as well. How did things get settled?
The newly appointed acting Grand Sage reviewed all of our projects and gave us permission to continue our research.
Acting grudge like a new thing.
Yeah, I heard that selecting new sages has been taking some time, so he's just filling in. But it's all thanks to him that our research results weren't jeopardized. Once my paper is published, I'm definitely giving myself a long vacation and getting some much needed rest. Mondstadt sounds like a good idea.
Oh yeah, what I was saying is we don't normally use much of recommendation in Sweden, like in general, so it was only for when I was applying to be a exchange student that the school abroad required it. They're really out of their minds making Al Hayam the acting Grand Sage. I don't think that's the right way to say his name. Okay, so this is his thingy.
Take it easy, Professor. I'm puzzled as well. Just going by qualifications, you were one of our most preeminent scholars. I don't know why they picked a stripling like him.
Fool. Do you think I'm angry because I wasn't chosen for the position? No, it's because I don't understand why they chose him. Because he helped save your freaking country. He was one of my students, but he rarely attended class. When I asked him about it, he retorted that self-study was a better use of his time. The little shit. I like it. What brazen arrogance. Misery of miseries. For academia to have him acting Grand Sage?
Professor, don't get so worked up. I'll go get you some water. Psst, wanna hear a secret? I've heard the new acting grad sage is from Haravad?
Haravatat? Haravatat, sure.
Really? Who is it?
Someone named Al-Hayam. Never met him myself, but he's a real hot topic right now. Lots of things being said about him. Hard to tell what's true and what isn't, though. He's been in the spotlight recently. They say that he's a likely pick to become one of the next sages. Oh, is teaching any courses? Maybe we should drop by.
Wow, news of Al-Hayam being the grand acting sage sure spread fast. Some people don't know who he is, though, because he's less famous than Paimon thought.
Yeah, Mr. Vocaloid seems to want to be by himself.
Some people are saying good things, and especially that old guy is now. He really doesn't like Al-Hayam.
No, his pride is getting in the way of that.
Hey, are you okay? You don't look too good.
The Matra.
The Matra?
I'm Ilias. I have to talk to Matra about something important.
In the state you're in? You shouldn't push yourself. Why don't you tell us what happened and we'll pass on your message to Matra?
No, I have to tell them myself. They're the only ones I can trust. Sorry, can you lend me your arm? This is an important matter. Failure's not an option.
Since you put it that way, fine. We'll take you to Matra.
We promised we'd take Matra, but we don't know that many, do we? Bring signs in Dragon Club. Wait, Cyno should be back at the middle. We are not doing that quest right now. We are doing Cyno's quest. Hello, we meet again. Have you managed to find Cyno? If so, how's he doing? You give Nabil a letter from Cyno. I read a letter and must admit that I hadn't expected things, sorry, to be so serious. Sorry, had I known it would be so dangerous, I never would have gotten you two involved.
It's alright. We wanted to help Cyno too.
I can tell he really trusts you. The research files stored away in the restricted repository are far from ordinary. Everything here is essentially about dangerous research that's forbidden by the academia. It's the restricted section. Even I don't usually have the authority to enter, but with this letter from Cyno, it shouldn't be a problem. Forbidden research. Do they have Horcruxes in there? That's right. Granted, the academia is very supportive when it comes to research. They encourage scholars to conduct all kinds of studies. However, some forms of research have proven to be so dangerous that the Matra have to step in and put a stop to them. Normally, after some particular research becomes prohibited, the majority of the related files will be destroyed. But some information may be retained as a record to warn later researchers. Such information is kept in the restricted repository, which is heavily guarded. Why is that so hard for me to say? Restricted repository. Follow me, I'll show you. Hopefully, we'll find the answers that Cyno's looking for.
The restricted repository. Huh, sounds kinda dangerous. We better keep an eye out.
Sure. Oh my god, I really did burn myself. No, I'm not looking for Matra. Okay, I'm okay, good. Oopsie, sorry. I ran right into you. How do I get there? Oh, we're just standing here? Sure. Beale explains situation to okay, yeah. Okay, I understand. Since I know it's vouching for you, I suppose we can trust you. You may browse the information regarding the Court of Desolation. Ask me if you have any questions. I mean, honestly, you guys knew who we were in real life. I think you would trust us anyway. We've done enough to prove our trustworthiness. but I suggest avoiding it other times. The less you know, the better. I mean, sometimes. Activates the device and a secret door opens in the wall. It's a library with a secret door. Can I live there? That sounds amazing. This is a repository. I thought I'd see the inside of it. This is a first for both you and me. All thanks to Cyno, who do not openly converse with others within the academia, but even so, there are very few who I feel could be trusted with a real secret. Cyno happens to be one of them. Even though he's no longer in the academia, I still trust him, and that goes for anyone he trusts as well. Yee. The guard dog trusts us, so we are fine. The files are over there. Just make it quick.
Eee. But there's so many books.
Records of an account of Spantamad researcher who was expelled from the academia for studying mechanical life forms. Ooh. Sealed materials, the Court of Desolation. No, those were the ones. Despite repeated prohibitions, research on the Court of Desolation increased without ceasing. Researchers who study the history of the Court of Desolation mainly go through the three stages: discovery, investigation, and fan- fantasism. Fantasism? The earliest stage of research is the relatively basic discovery phase, which causes little to no harm. The results of their discoveries will show that treasures related to life and death may be hidden within the Court of Desolation. This is also where the rumor of bringing the dead back to life may begin. Following the initial phase is a prolonged investigation phase. All documentation regarding the location of the Court of Desolation has been vague at best. As a result, the structure itself has never been truly discovered. Many researchers still deplete their resources searching in the desert, only to find a scant few remaining stone tablets with the words, "Entering the Court of Desolation comes at a price." Well, doesn't seem to be bringing anything back to life then. Two different interpretations of the line have quickly emerged as a result. Some believe that the price of one's life is the key to entering the Court of Desolation, while others assert that it was a requirement for the court to appear. Because the Court of Desolation has never been discovered, the latter view gradually became mainstream. As a result, many researchers went in a short period of time overtaken by their fervent desire to make the Court of Desolation appear. They attempted to sacrifice their lives. Relevant research became increasingly dangerous, but even after that, many academia scholars secretly continued their research. It was not until 7 scholars, including Murtada Radkhani, I, is the name supposed to tell me something? Were arrested that research into the Court of Desolation entered a period of stagnation once more.
Wow, there's a lot to read here. Luan, have you found anything yet?
Murtada Radkhani.
Huh? It reminds Paimon of Cyno's former partner.
His former partner? That would be Tai Radkhani, but you're not far off. Radkhani was Taj's only son. What? Taj's son went to prison for researching the Court of Desolation?
Why do you sound so surprised? You're a Matra, aren't you?
It's just that they arrested him in secret, so it was never publicly known. If I knew what. Uh, all I knew was that Taj's son was taken to prison. It's not just me, I bet even Cyno didn't know about that. Is there any way we could meet Murtada? No, unfortunately there isn't. He took his life his own life not long after he went to prison.
Well, that's grim.
You've heard about Taj, right? I know Nabil has. Every Matra knows him. I would say he's probably pushing 50 this year, which makes him one of the most experienced Matra. He's a man of integrity and honesty, and has made countless achievements. His reputation goes back a long way now. He used to be Cyno's only partner. Taj is also skilled with a pole arm, so the two of them used to practice together when they weren't out on a mission. Aww. Oh, right, I heard Cyno mention that before. But one day, Taj suddenly decided to retire from active duty and transfer to an administrative position. Right, we were told that. I wonder if it had anything to do with the Murtada incident. I feel like I missed a bunch of things that I could have seen in here just because I accidentally pressed this one before. So when Murtada came to study at academia, everyone had high expectations of him. He had to face a lot of pressure. When he had an unpleasant dispute with his father, but they were eventually able to work things out. Not long after they had reconciled, Murtada was caught studying the Court of Desolation, which is in violation of academia rules. Taj arrested his own son and put him behind bars. He begged for leniency, but Taj wouldn't agree. Oh, I mean, listen. Sometimes the thing you should do as a parent is not the thing that your kid is asking you to do. Shortly after, Murtada slit his own throat with the pieces of a broken bowl. By the time Taj arrived at the scene, it was already too late. He never had a chance to see his son. Since then, Taj has been periodically coming to the repository. He'll hold the files from his he'll hold the files from his son's research with a remorseful look on his face. I guess that's why he chose to move from to administrative work. Whew. I had no idea that happened. That must have been really hard for Taj. I've never heard him mentioning that to anyone.
Oh, that's awful. Paimon feels terrible now. Are you okay, Laurel?
You said Taj come to repository? Taj has gone through Murtada's research files? Wait, don't tell me you're starting to suspect Taj now. Impossible. Taj will never do that. I mean, yes, he does have a big reputation. This Taj we're talking about. He would never do anything against regulations. Never. But if you claim that canned knowledge was originating from the academia, then Taj is indeed a suspect. Whew. Yeah, reading is hard today because he was the only one who could have recently gone through the research files about the Court of Desolation. There are so many files about those ruins that it would be difficult to restart any research. Since the 7 originally researchers were put behind bars, it's hard enough to just trying to make sense of these files. However, if the files were made into canned knowledge, they could be understood immediately. By doing so, one could restart the research outside academia without anyone ever noticing. Oh my god, I'm sorry. But even so, according to the legends, the treasure inside the Court of Desolation could allow someone see, could allow someone to see beyond life and death. You can bring the dead back to light, right? To light? Light them on fire. No. To life. So maybe Taj is trying to bring Murtada back. Though I don't really believe Taj would ever try to do something like that. I'm just telling you what I know. It's part of the job of the Matra to find the truth and track down criminals. Do you have any questions? If not, it'd be best if you leave now.
Paimon's kinda confused, Lon. What should we do from here?
Oh, now that I think about it, Cyno suspected that the can knowledge was coming from within the academia, right? There's no way so many boxes could ever get through without drawing any attention. Maybe we could try asking people around the gate of the academia and see what we can find. Don't worry, Taj, I won't let your reputation be tarnished.
Alrighty then. Let's go ask around.
But I want to read the other things. Yes, sorry. Secret text interpretation manual. Record records an account of Har- Haravatat researcher being sentenced to prison for deciphering forbidden documents. We just heard that he was one, so is this him? Did Alhaim get sentenced to prison for this? Okay. I think that should be it though. Doesn't seem to be anything else. Let's go. And I burnt myself on the frying pan. It got too hot and I... Ooh. Where are we going exactly? Oh, just there. Yeah, I'm not gonna teleport him. Let's just run. What's happening? Ooh.
Hi there. Excuse us, but is Cyno Academia?
Oh my god. This is the wrong one. Oh, you two look familiar. Are you friends with Mahamatra Cyno? I'm afraid he's out on a mission right now. But if you'd like, I can pass whatever message you might have on to him.
We ran into this guy by the gates, and he seems really eager to speak with the Matra. It sounds like something urgent.
Oh, if you don't mind, why don't you tell me about it first? Mm. Ilias. Ilias. Isn't that a Greek? Sirai. Sirai? That name sounds familiar. Isn't he a Vahumana researcher?
Lahumana researcher?
Yes, one of their most renowned, in fact. He is intelligent. There are rumors he'll become Vahumana's next sage. Um, but please continue, good sir. What about Sirai? I want to report him for conducting a dangerous experiment. He kidnapped me, tied me up, and took me to that horrible cave. Terminal equipment everywhere. I ran as fast as I could. A little slower and he would have caught me. There's no rush. Please take your time. What kind of experiments was he conducting? Where is this cave? How are you not like, I'm sorry, kidnapping? I don't remember.
Huh? You can't remember?
All I remember is Siraj walking toward me, then my head starting to feel weird. It's like a nightmare that I can't recall. I just know that that place is dangerous and that they must be stopped. Oh, I heard they're conducting business in the tavern. We need to hurry. Even if what you say is, alright, I'll have some of my colleagues look into Sarai. But before that, I would like to administer the Matra lie detector test. You think I'm lying? Please don't take it the wrong way. It's just standard protocol. Sorry, but can you two wait out here a little while? We'll be back soon. You wait somewhat longer than expected. Hey, Alhayam. Hello, Mr. Vocaloid.
Huh? Mr. Vocaloid?
Let me bring you up to speed. First things first, Ilya passed the lie detector test. This indicates that what he said is highly credible. As such, we've decided to launch an investigation based on the leads he provided. Per protocol, per protocol, this is reported to acting Grand Sage Alhaim. After hearing about it, he left a message for Mahamatra and asked to join the investigation.
It's kind of weird for you to be working with the Matra. Is there a special reason?
You're overthinking things. My interest was piqued, is all.
Really? I'm surprised you have this much free time. In that case, Let's join in as well, shall we, Luan? It's already against protocol for acting Grand Sage Liam.
Oh wait, that's not Bible. To participate in this investigation. As for you two, never mind. After all, you were the ones who brought Ilias here. I'll allow you to accompany us, but you have to promise to keep everything confidential.
Don't you worry, our lips are sealed.
Alright, in that case, what we know so far. Ilias claimed that Sirai will be conducting some business with the Kashrevar researcher at the tavern. This is one of his few clear memories. It seemed upon this while escaping. Incidentally, Serai isn't at the academia right now. He applied for long-term off-site research 1 month ago. It's close to the time that Ilias had given, so we decided to head to the tavern and investigate in suspicious presence. That's right. Arava. Arav, maybe? Prepare to head out. You two, do as you will.
Oh, come on. We already said that we're coming.
Yeah, come on, Mr. Vocaloid. You know you want us there. Also, this is not the thing we're doing right now. We're still trying to do Cyno's quest. Why is it just switching between quests? I don't get it. That's definitely not it. That one. Okay, one there, and one here. Other. Okay. Excuse me, have you seen any leaving the academia recently? Well, yes, but isn't that pretty normal? The academia consumes so many resources each day, everything from cooking ingredients, raw materials, even equipment for experiments. It's normal for goods to be coming in and out.
Right, but we're looking for shipments with a matra seal. Have you seen anything like that?
Too sure of. I normally wouldn't notice whether the goods have any seals or not. Maybe we should ask someone else. Sure. Your hair is very pretty. I like the little brown. Hello. What might you help us, good sir? God, that's a cool sword. I want one. Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving academia recently? No, not that I'm aware of. Perhaps you could ask someone else. Well, that wasn't very helpful. We're going down? I guess we're going down. Hiya. Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving academia recently? Huh? Why do you ask? I'm just checking to ensure nothing unusual has happened. Well, I can't say it's unusual, but I did notice something. There's a oh my god, this word. How do I say this? Kash... No. Ksharevar? I don't think that's right. A researcher who's been making frequent shipments recently, dozens of large boxes each time, if not more. When I asked him about it, he said they just contained a bunch of old, worn-out machines. The the K-War, sure, used to often sell scrap machines to traveling merchants, so I didn't really think anything of it. Recently, there weren't ever so many. Hello, it's going well. Thank you for asking. How are you? I'm just trying to do Cyno's quest and doing silly voices. There weren't ever so many outdated machines before. And you didn't find that suspicious? Why didn't you report it for inspection? Well, the boxes were stamped with a Matra seal. Why should I bother? Of course, I did start to wonder about the seal once, thinking that maybe they forged or something. But you know what happened? A man named Taj came here and told me that he had already inspected the goods personally and ordered me to leave the researcher alone. I couldn't question his word, could I? I mean, if he's that well known, then maybe, but it seems like he's maybe up to something not so good. But let's hopefully. Impossible. There must be some mistake. There's no way Taj would ever. Just calm down, everyone. One step at a time. We need proof of everything. No, I won't believe it. Tashin is an honorable man. Someone must be trying to frame him. I mean, that is a possibility. Oh, my voice is low? Wait. Ah! I will try and... let's actually do this. Okay. Is this any better? Am I any clearer? Maybe I should actually read a bit slower too. uh, hopefully that made it a little bit better. I'm kind of scared that my Paimon voice is gonna break the microphone as well. But yeah, hopefully, let me know if it got any better. Wait, I know another Matra who works with Taj. I can ask him to let us speak with Taj. Okay, sure. Are we just going? Naveen runs off and returns with someone shortly later. Uh, Thank you. That's helpful. As I already told you. Sorry. I don't have any way to contact Taj. A few Emirates showed up looking for Taj, and he met with them in his office. I was standing outside of the door and I vaguely heard found. Well, that seems like a lead. Before I opened, I realized realized that the door opened and Taj left with the group of them. I noticed that he all had also changed into Emirate attire. Well, that's suspicious. Why does he need a disguise? But Taj didn't come to work today, so I've also started to feel a little concerned about the whole thing. If you'd like to speak with him, maybe you can try visiting his home. He lives just outside on the outskirts of Sumeru City. He lives just out on the skirts. Sure, I'm gonna start saying that now.
A group of Emirates? Could Taj really be the one making all the canon knowledge?
I mean, it's it's still a lot for one person, though. No way. Taj is just like Cyno. They're considered heroes among the Matra. There's no way that he would. Let's go to his home and have a look, yeah? Fine. Looks like there's no other choice.
Hey,
Oh, I'm glad. Thank you for letting me know as well. It's hard to know with the volumes and stuff. Especially because I'm wearing headphones and stuff too. Um,
hey, don't let it get to you just yet. We'll get to the bottom of this once and for all.
also, I'm glad you're feeling good too. And read things incorrectly, but that's fine. Let's run. We're off on a mission. Like, I'm not sure what's cool, but I'm great. I mean, uh, okay, so we're now at Taj's place. It seems like there would be a lot for just one person to make, but like, and everyone seems to think really highly of him. But like, traumatic things can happen, and no one thinks they are the bad guy. So like, everyone has flaws, and sometimes things happen. And his son killing himself would certainly be a lot to deal with. So this is Taj's place. There doesn't seem to be anyone here. Oh, the voice change? I'm so glad. I really like doing weird voices, so I do that a lot, especially with Genshin, because oh, hi. Thank you for subscribing. But yeah, I really like doing like the really weird voices for Genshin because it's such a good game to do it for. I know that they have really good voice actors and stuff, but I really like just being silly with it. Okay, yes.
Well, what should we do then? Do we break in?
No, no, wait, the door's unlocked. Did Taj leave in a hurry? It does mean though that I never know how to pronounce things. Like Inazuma's fine, but anywhere else that I'm like, I'm butchering these names. I'm so sorry. Well, anyway, we're still not sure if he's the real culprit. Probably not a good idea to go in without permission. There's no other option, though. We have to do this in order to clear his name. Yay. Uh, you're right. Even if we apply for a warrant now, we won't be able to do anything until tomorrow at the earliest. This is an emergency. I just hope Taj doesn't mind. We went to Taj's home and search around. What's this? Sorry, my weird hiccups too.
Um, it's a paper full of names written on it. Oh, and a map. Nabil, can you make any sense of this?
Yes, this is definitely Taj's handwriting. These papers look like records. What from Doraemon? I honestly, I've heard so much about Doraemon, but I've never actually watched it. But that's really fun. That is such a fun party trick. um, these are transactions between Taj and some other people. From the look of the numbers, the scales for this smuggling case is absolutely massive. The whole operation involves more than 300 people, including dozens of celebrities. These are famous scholars, merchants, mercenaries. Ooh, the corruption runs deep. I have a feeling that Cyno might be unaware of what he's up against. There's no way anyone could face such a large organization on their own. But at least he has us, right? Maybe he's aware of that. Even so, he won't back down. Yeah, he won't. The pup, the guard dog, the puppy won't stop. Nope. You're right. That's just who he is. As for the map, it appears to indicate the location of the Court of Desolation. Oh, do we get to go? Do we get to explore? Okay, do we get to pull Indiana Jones? Because let's take it to Cyno and let him decide how to proceed. Are we sure that's the place? Okay. Anyway, let's go there and see. If that's oh, thank you. I honestly, I'm also just really lazy with my hair, and this means I can do as little as possible. But thank you. I really appreciate it. It's very nice with the weather getting hot. What kind of hairstyle do you have then? Like, is yours like short or long or what? What kind do you have? Um, if Taj really has turned his honor, I don't think so. No, that is something that I want to make, but I haven't figured out how to make it yet. I will try and figure out, but yeah. Oh, thank you so much for following. I really appreciate it. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and figure something out, but it's I've been doing this a little bit now, but I'm still quite new. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of things that I'm like, how do I do this? Can I do this without being this? And like, there's like levels of things, and yeah. Anyway, I will try and figure it out. I want to do something fun. It's like I want to make my own like emojis too, but I can't do that yet. Which is I've probably thought a following follower alert was on the same level. Maybe they're not, so I'll look into it. Anyway, thank you. Um, if Taj has really turned his honor on his honor and committed these horrible acts, then I suspect that he might already be at the Court of Desolation as we speak. I don't want to suspect him, but I also don't know him very well. Maybe Cyno will know what to do. Ooh, that is very long hair to your waist.
All right, we'll give these to Cyno and see. Let's go.
I get that. I had like this long hair, like well past, like basically down to my ribs when I was younger. I do kind of miss the whole being able to. Yeah, exactly. I'm not. I'm not there yet. So I will try one day maybe, because it would be really fun to make my own. Like honestly, it's just like the art of it is exciting to me. But yeah, we'll see. I could have like a stream where I just make art or like make emojis. Um, but yes, good to know that the other one is there. But yeah, I'm actually very happy with my hair short. I do kind of wish I could just switch between long and short, depending on how I feel during the day, though. Like that would be very useful. But my hair is very thin. It doesn't do very well with long. Oh, same length. But you miss it? Or are you trying to like save your to like grow your hair out again?
Well, well, Cyno, what can you make of it?
I do try and do art sometimes. Like I do streaming as an excuse to get to do my hobbies that I like that I don't do. And sometimes I do art streams if I feel like it. Um Not super often, but recently I've been doing art streams to draw my characters for D&D, or like I'm the DMing for D&D. And yeah. Some of my NPCs end up actually getting drawn. Ooh, what kind of art do you do? Because that sounds fun. Anyway.
Well, Cyno, what do you make of it?
Hmm. Taj. It's been a while since I last saw him. From what I remember, he's a straight-laced man. Although he would resort to extreme measures from time to time, he would never do anything against his belief. Aw. Yeah, then I guess uh, just growing it out again is the thing to do, but it takes time, unfortunately. uh, Thank you. It would be really fun to check out some other people's art streams too. Um,
So, do you think he's the one?
I'm still not sure. I cannot imagine how devastating the incident with the Murtada was for him, nor can I deny the possibility that people can change. Whether it's out of love for his son or other reasons, we have to see for ourselves to judge him, or rather, the person he has become. The evidence is stacked against him, but that doesn't mean we should. It's clear that he had a hand in this case, yet he made no report of it. There's no doubting that. Also, why I need to see him. I must ask his reasoning and judge him myself. Yee. Time is ticking. Let's go. Yes. Let's go. Let's go Indiana Jonesing. Or Nathan Draking, maybe. Where are we going? Maybe that would be helpful too. Over there. Let's teleport him. Also, if I sometimes like look over here, it's because I have the chat open on my phone. Ooh, you do commissions and stuff? That's so cool though. Like do you have a like preferred medium or anything? Ooh, okay. That's kind of cool though. A persona thing? I've heard of the like the first furries, I guess. Um they tend to pay quite well. Like they're quite they're appreciative they're appreciative of their um of their like creators and stuff, which is always a good thing. Okay, I did the right thing there. Where did what did the picture show? where, where am I going? That's not it. Quest items. There we go. Do do. That's not it. Oh, is it this one? Ancient map. He's probably above then. Oh, that's still cool. like that you're able to actually do that kind of like artistic work as a full-time career. Very cool. I'm assuming it's quite hard as well, but still, sounds really cool. Like when I was a kid, I wanted to become a mangaka, like a person who, um, but I was like, I don't think I can do that. Oh, I think we found it. I think this is it. We have to go in here, don't we? I think this might. Yes. Enter the Court of Desolation. Hi, hi, little thingies. Yeah, probably should. I mean, I made my like header for the channel now that I have now. I made that one, but it's yeah. It would be really cute to have like a cartoony one. It just takes so much more time. And currently, maybe once I get back to Sweden and stuff, I might have a bit more time to actually do things. But at the moment, I am working on like 150%. Also, what are you guys doing? You're adorable armadillo. I know that they're like scorpions, but that's yeah, that's so cool to be like to like follow it through like that. It's just I respect that. Well, oh, okay. Court of Desolation. Here we go. Recommended elements: water and uh, like I do some, but like a professional. I would not say that. What is my highest level? 40. That is not high enough to be battling anyone with. Mona is kinda weak. Ooh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely like doing it like full time and all that. It's just it's very cool. I I definitely I was like, which button do I press? Uh, I definitely respect that kind of just work and like getting to that point and all the like years of practice it takes to doing it and the commitment and everything. It's so cool. What kind do you post your art anywhere online or anything? Is there somewhere I could check it out?
So this is the Court of Desolation. Are there really any treasures buried here? Oh, Paima's kinda nervous. Could it be dangerous?
I mean, we are going into. Don't worry, you'll be safe with me. Uh, I mean, I do have a Discord, but I have like a I only have like a personal Discord because I don't really have any followers or anything. But like, I could try and add you there. That's totally fine. Oh wait, I have Hello, Mona is low on health. Oopsie, I didn't realize I had Cyno. Hello, little thingy. Oh, ooh, on your Instagram and Twitter. Ooh, okay. Also, like either that or if you're fine with me adding you on my actual like private thingy, then that's also a Discord. I mean, that's also an option. Woo! I have not fought this kind of thing before. How do I go? I think I did. Good to know. Ooh, wait, what can I see through here? Oh, okay, great. I will follow you back then. That's perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, I forgot that I had the actual links like actually on the page. That is so helpful. Thank you so much. I can't see anything through this thing. Okay, let's go. But yeah, then I will follow you back after the stream, and you can show me some stuff. Because like I'm always down for art.
Look at these walls. Look, these walls definitely seen better days. Was there some kind of battle here? Let's just keep going.
Oh my god, it's so fast. I'm not sure. Let's go it. Oh no. There. Hello, Cyno. The little puppy. I mean, I know he's not a puppy, but like, it's just he's so small. It has the jackal ears and everything, and then everyone is so scared of him. It just makes it so funny to call him a puppy. Huh. I guess that's one way to do it.
Wow, is it just Paimon or did that passageway just rotate? It's gonna start moving again. Anyway, we should be careful.
Oh, we jump down. Okay, let's go. Oh, I thought it was way further down. Like I was ready for this like really long fall, and then it was like 2 meters. Nope. Uh, oh, I didn't even need to do anything. I haven't figured out how to switch to Cyno in an efficient manner yet. But hey, worked out anyway. Is there incense in that thing? Maybe. There might be. Invisible staircases. Oh god. Trippy. Hello. Nice to meet you.
A passage! Hopefully that's our way in.
Oh god, why was that so hard to look at? That's ominous looking. Are we sure we want to go here?
That eye seems to be staring right at us.
Like, I know people make fun of Paimon, but
Well, this place gives Paimon the creeps. You go first.
but like, she keeps saying things that I think, so I can't even be mad. Because I was like, that looks kind of creepy. And then she's like, oh, this is creepy. Oh my god. I'm sitting still. I am not actually spinning. Uh, that's not a way anywhere. That's not a direction. I think actually in here. No, we have to rotate again, I think. Or press that one. Oh, thank you so much. I will definitely check it out after the stream then. Because like I enjoy following art in general. Oh god, why is this? He's genuinely just like messing with my head. I mean, it's a very cool effect, don't get me wrong. They did a great job, but like, oh my god, I'm kind of glad I'm not playing on a TV. Door of Resurrection activated. Hello. Nice to meet you. My name is Luna. Do you want to have a cup of tea? Maybe? Yeah? No? Situation? Relationship yet? That's fine. I guess we'll just punch each other? Oh my god. Eee. Oh, did it go away? I think so.
Oi.
Yeah, I will. Because it's like always down for more art. I like art. I'm one of those people who can genuinely spend an entire day at a museum. Just give me headphones and some music or an audiobook and I will be very happy. I'm only streaming here for now, but like I could try somewhere else too. I'm more than happy. Like I have a YouTube channel where I upload things, but um, I haven't really streamed there before. But like I could always try. I wouldn't mind. Because I was like, they really don't save any of the like streams for very long, and I was like, maybe I want to like reminisce on them sometimes in the future. Like maybe I'll want to feel nostalgic, so I started uploading them, even if no one else um watches them. That's totally fine. Taj. Ah, Cyno. It's been some time since I've seen you last. I trust you're doing well. Seeing that you made it all the way here. Wait, who am I talking to? Wait, is it when I was like fighting and doing that? I was talking to the enemy because I was like, maybe. Um, seeing that you made all the way, you must be on the cusp of wrapping up your investigation, I presume. Hmm. Well, even faster than expected. It's because you have some new partners now. That's right. This case is nearly closed, but the most important answer still eludes me. Was it all your doing? Smuggling the canned knowledge, the research of the Court of Desolation? Yes, gave him the mustache to have that voice. Explain why. That's the difficult part. Let's just say I've changed. I've become a selfish coward who only wants to pursue his own interests. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna believe that, my friend. I find that hard to believe. What did I say? Oh, really? The way I see it, every person will end up like me sooner or later. When you're young, you press forward, unattached, living solely for the justice in your heart. But as you begin to age, you start to become more cautious. You know many things are wrong, but still turn a blind eye to them. I don't want to become that way. I was the same. I never questioned my actions until Murtada died. I could feel the justice that I once strived to uphold slowly crumbling in my heart. A lot of things look cute in this game. Like, there's so many things that I'm like, is this supposed to be an enemy? Because I don't want to attack it. I was completely dedicated to all that I did, but as I grew older, I found myself feeling alone, miserable. Can you imagine what it feels like to not have the will to live, but not able to die? Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Don't want to admit it, but I kind of been there. Murtada was sent to prison by my own hands. I set myself on this painful path. My son hated me till the day he died, and now I must live with that pain and regret. I failed him as a father, but now I have a chance to make it right, a chance to reunite with him. Don't think I'm not sure that's really gonna help. The Court of Desolation. Here lies the key to overcoming life and death, the power to even bring the dead back to life. Are you sure? So, did you already find what you needed here? See this door behind me? Not laugh. Behind it lies the treasures that I seek. I'm so close, I know. If only you hadn't arrived now, I could have already. No, that's too bad. I mean, honestly, I'm streaming because I think it's fun. But part of the fun is also like when people actually interact, and I'm like, hey, what about this? And like I get to hear about people from different places and stuff, and it's really cool. I am an introvert, but also this is like social in a good way. And like I like people, so I just need to recharge as well. Enough conjecture. What happened? What has happened is already part of the past. You can't bring the dead back to life. Mm-hmm. It's true. In the end, the treasures you seek are nothing but myths and legend. Since you're so sure, why don't you just let me open the door and see? No. danger behind the door. There will be dire consequences the moment you open it. I beg you, as an old partner, can you let me fulfill my last wish? Just this once. Yeah, it's like this is like social interaction, but also slightly toned down. So like it's really nice. I think though, if like a lot of people chatted, I might have a hard time reading like all of them. I feel you with that. Like introvert IRL and extrovert online is such a mood. I have yeah, that's me too. Just this once. Surely you get it by now. Doing your job without mercy would only drive people away from you. I am the prime example. I don't overthink things. If there's only one way for me to defend my principles, then that is the path that I will take. I mean, Cyno is really nice. I like him. Seems that there's no convincing you. All let's see if your polearm skills have improved at all. Shobida. Fight. Did you just summon something? Did you just summon actual, like, animals to fight with you? Can I get to learn that? That'd be amazing. Like, surely that would be fun. Well, that was fast. I didn't expect it to be that quick. Your strength. You feel it, don't you? I'm stronger than you remember. I gained new power when I entered the Court of Desolation. This is only a taste of it. Once I open the door behind me, this power will be complete. Even life and death will have no grip on me.
Uh-oh. We have to stop this guy.
I won't let you open that door.
I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid it won't be too easy to stop me now that you're injured. Or are you ready to sacrifice your life for this?
I'll do what I have to.
I still remember when we first became partners. You were always charging forward and putting your life on the line, just like now. Even after all this time, you still haven't changed. But like, how old is he? Because like, he doesn't look like he's older than like 14. Which is why I keep calling him puppy. But like, you haven't changed either. Oh god, it's 5:13. You haven't slept. Yeah, go sleep. Bye. Thank you for hanging out. You're more than welcome to any other time that you feel like it. No pressure. But yeah, I'll look at the art afterwards. Sleep. Yes. Bye. Go sleep, please. You haven't changed either. You left that list of names and map in your house on purpose, didn't you? You wanted me to be able to find you here. All of this was just a part of the act you were putting on. Aw, please get some sleep and good luck with all your commitments and like work and stuff. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna keep going for a bit longer. Um, all of this was just a part of the act you were putting on. What happened just now was also part of your plan. You might have fooled those on the list, but you will not fool me. Oh no, like I'm not. But like, please, people, take care of yourselves. Health first, yeah. Health first. Always health first. I had my wrong voice. I had my suspicions from the beginning, but I couldn't be sure until we fought. I had changed. Your fight wouldn't be as it was before. Huh? What do you mean, Cyno?
He never planned on opening the door. His true intention was
Ah! What's happening?
seem like he makes quick then. After Murtada died, my spirit was crushed. For a long time, I was hoping this reality was just some terrible nightmare. I hoped that I would just wake up and be able to see his smiling face again. Yeah, loss is a horrible thing. It creates a new reality. Anyway, yeah, I have written it now. um, that is when I was approached by someone who wished to collaborate and find the Court of Desolation together. I did some investigation of my own and discovered that they were part of a massive organization. People from every walk of life are involved. They are relentless in their search, pouring countless mora into secret research, even sacrificing lives in hopes that the Court of Desolation would appear. No wonder banning the research wasn't enough. Full scale operation was already in motion. I'm a flesh and blood human like anyone else, so I obviously hesitated and considered it. The thought of bringing my son back tugged at my heart, but in the end I came to my senses. I knew that I could not let myself go down that path. Oh, he is good. That's good. I suddenly came to a realization amidst my suffering. The Court of Desolation, a place that once drove people to tragedy, was still doing so even centuries later. Yeah, there are places like that in real life too. As long as this place exists, people will recklessly seek it out, just as Murtada did, generation after generation, regardless of the cost. Oh, so you're sacrificing yourself, is that it? Let it be buried beneath the sands forever. Once the Court of Desolation is gone, there will no longer be any obsessed with seeking it out. But like you could just detonate things from afar. You don't need to sacrifice yourself. Yeah? The walls on the way down here. You're going to destroy the Court of Desolation. That's right. I acted as if I had abandoned my convictions just so they would cooperate without raising any suspicion. Sorry. This was the only way I could find and destroy this place. But that wasn't enough. I needed someone I could trust to bring the organization to justice. Academia forbids the researchers of the Court of Desolation. Researchers. Researchers? Forbids the research. I feel like the grammar of that part is a bit off. Anyway. So they would never approve of my plan in the first place. To add to the problem, the organization is so powerful that they even have members working within the academia. If I wish to destroy the organization, I'll. So you pretended to be the one behind all this to test me? Yes, I'm sorry, but now I am assured you haven't changed at all. You are still as you always were, fearless and making no compromise. Anyway, this place is collapsing. You must leave for now. You? We, together. We're not leaving without you.
Wait, leaving too? Lots of bad to catch outside.
There's no life left inside him. It's like a candle with no more wick to burn. I didn't expect to get hit with poetry. That hurt. What a desolation, one must sacrifice. You planned it all from the beginning, didn't you? Risking being treated as a traitor to collaborate with them, sacrificing your own life to open and destroy the Court of Desolation. Regardless, I made a grave mistake by allowing the smuggling and the research of this place. Let this be the final judgment on myself. I was always so busy with work that I never made time to fulfill Murtada's wishes. Finding this place was his biggest wish. Since I'll be reunited with him here, I can only hope he won't have any more to hold against me. Oh, you could see him there for a moment. Maybe he was with you the entire time. And by you finding here, maybe he did too, and he's at peace. I'll leave all those people on the list to you. Sorry for all the trouble I've caused. There's nothing to be sorry for. We're partners. If you see Murtada, sending my greetings. Goodbye, my old friend. Well, I certainly didn't expect it to get this sad. Okay, run. Yeah, thank you. Do I actually have to run?
パパ、どうしてみんな僕に厳しいの？一緒にサボってても叱られるのはいつも僕だけ。
Hmm.
構わないでよ。父さんの評判を落とすようなことはしないから。
分かった。和解しよう。父さん、僕はやっと研究したい方向を見つけたんだ。
Running together.
なぜだ。
Oh, Paimon too.
なぜなら俺たちはマハマトラだからだ。
Because sometimes the right thing to do is actually to give punishment. I mean, I don't think you should be killing anyone or anything. But like, obviously, the son should never have died. But he made that choice himself, which is horrible. But like, so like you need consequences, and then you need to have a chance to be forgiven if you work for it. At least that's what I think anyway. That got really serious.
Huh? The Court of Desolation has
Disappeared. It's like the Cave of Wonders in Aladdin. That's what I was thinking of. Just as Taj said, that place has caused too many disasters and tragedies. Being buried in quicksand is its rightful end. I don't think that's quicksand. That's just sand that happened to be quick, which I guess is now quicksand. But yeah, what about the organization? To them, as long as there is mora to be made, they will disregard academia's rules, whether it's the Court of Desolation or anything else. Their only goal is to make massive profits off of dangerous research. Taj may have set them back with the Court of Desolation, but it won't be long before they continue searching for another target. That's an opportunity that I will not let them have.
will help too.
Yep. Thank you, but you've already done enough. No, but like, we're in it now. We might as well finish it. Just leave the rest to me. I will bring them to justice myself. Besides, I promised you that I would sweep away any potential danger. So that's what I'm going to do. Wait for me at Caravan Ribat for 4 days from now. Wait, 4 days. Can I? My god, they're so cute. How are these so cute? I want one as a pet. Can I have one? It also kind of looks like a... What were those called? They were like these toys when I was a kid. Bakugan? Is that it? Like they were like round things that would like unfold into like different creatures of some kind. It kind of reminds me of that. Wait, I should do time first, right? 4 days. 1, 2. Nope, 2. Goodness. Hmm. Tea is so nice. Ah, how would I ever survive without tea? Truth be, probably wouldn't, because I, I don't like so much of what I drink is tea. Like in a day, I more or less drink my entire this thingy. See again, it's like attached. Uh, I basically drink the entire day of that thing in a day, which is like 2 liters almost. But I don't think I would drink that much just plain water. There. Caravan ribat. Not rabbit. Like I read it from the beginning. It would be kind of cute though. It was caravan rabbit, like rabbits caravans. We meet again. Thank you so much for all your help.
Nabil, what are you doing here?
Convicts from the desert are being escorted through Caravan Ribat, so I'm here to keep an eye on things. There should be a group of them, so I'll be heading back to the academia once they're cleared. What's the situation? What's the sitch? The last few days have been quite a ride, but unfortunately, I can say with fortunately, I can say with confidence that this case is finally coming to an end. At first, the mercenary groups on the list were putting up quite a fight. They made several desperate attempts to cover up the truth. However, Cyno crossed the desert and took out their main camp overnight. I mean, listen, I keep calling him Doggy because it's fun and cute, but he was like, oh yeah, there's this massive criminal organization. Give me 4 days. And then he did. It's kind of insane. Yeah, anyway. Um, that's my rant about him actually being quite powerful. Will I stop calling him Doggy? No. Puppy? Nope. I will not stop calling him Puppy. After that, people on the list started to put pressure on the higher ups within the academia. Everyone was on edge, and the case came to standstill.
And then what happened?
Well, then we received word that Taj Radkani had sacrificed himself on the case. Ooh. The news really stirred up the members of our ranks. The Matra then moved together against the enemy. We cleared out the traitors from within the academia and arrested all the researchers on that list. Some of them managed to get out of the academia, but we still failed to escape. The scattered criminals were captured by Cyno all across the meadow. I even heard that someone was about to escape to Fontaine, but was still apprehended just at the border. Having more than 300 prisoners apprehended for interrogation has definitely shaken things up recently. Oh my god, like, can you imagine though? Like, all of a sudden, you have 300 or like suspects that you now need to like take care of, like basically overnight. Because like even if they've done bad things, they still deserve to be treated well. So like you still need to provide like room and food, and cleanliness, and like all that kind of stuff for them. Cause quite stirring.
Is Cyno alright? He didn't get injured, did he?
He seems fine, but nobody knows the real situation. It's over 300 judgment all on his own. I'm sorry, it just makes me kind of laugh because he's so cute and it's like he's such a tiny boy. Um, Among them were even some of our former colleagues. Oh no, I pressed her quick. But even if we start feeling self-conscious, thinking if we've done anything wrong, we still we've still always honored. Oh, there we go. I was like, what am I reading? My brain did not process that. We're still always honored to have Cyno around. By the way, are you guys here to see Cyno? I think I just saw him walking in that direction when I was on the watch nearby. He was walking with someone I didn't recognize, and then before I knew it, they were nowhere to be seen. If you happen to see him, please send him my regards.
Sure thanks, Nabil. You be careful too. Don't let any of those bad guys escape.
Don't let any of those bad guys do anything to you. Don't worry about me. If anything happens, you can still find me at the anytime. Farewell then. Farewell. How far? I'm sorry, what? You're telling me it's where? Oh no, it's doing the weird thing where it like put a different thing again. Why? Why? I think I just need to actually do my quests. The music is so good. Oh, Tinari! Trying to single-handedly bring 300 people to justice must feel pretty exhilarating, but I can assure you this is certainly not the best solution. I'm aware. However, I learned something unexpected during interrogation. Apparently, someone had enticed Murtada Radkani into becoming interested in researching the Court of Desolation. Murtada had lived in his father's shadow all his life. Naturally, he wanted to conduct research that would seem groundbreaking and significant. After Murtada died, the organization tried to use Taj's shame regarding his son to add him to their ranks, toying with others' minds, treating lives like dirt, and doing anything for their own interests. This makes me angry. Fine, I understand. This is a type of trap I've been working on which uses plants. Okay. Poison? Here, take some just in case you need them next time. If thrown into the mud, the trap will grow rapidly and disperse a pollen that has a paralyzing effect. I don't have much use for the traps these days, but maybe you will and can help me collect more testing data.
Cyno, Tsunade! Oh, so Tsunade must be who Nabin saw earlier. Are you also here to see Cyno?
That's right. Cyno asked me to collect some medical herbs to treat a girl named Simon. I knew he was gonna ask him. Good, good. Take care of the kid. I also dropped by just to check for any injuries. He seems fine physically, but he looks a little more lonely than I remember. And Sino, relax. You don't always have to look so serious, you know? You don't have to play more genius you, why don't you play more genius invocation TCG, huh? Kalei has always been a little wary of you, and your stern expression certainly isn't helping. How is Kalei these days? She's grown a bit taller, but her grades could use some improvement. She still made many mistakes in her last test, even after had marked all the important content in the book for her. After some time, I plan on having her go outside more. It just so happens that I have something she can help me with.
Oh? You mean Clay is leaving Avidya Forest? What happened?
I mean, she's healthy now, right? I've also heard ad hoc lectures to the dangers of canned as well, as well as how as well as how to use it safely. My God, my brain is just breaking right now. Although I've apprehended all the criminals behind the recent smuggling case, there are many people who are still curious and seek canned knowledge. So I decided to ask her to work on increasing knowledge and awareness on the topic. Please be sure to keep an eye on her. I will. If anything else happens, the three of you can find me in the Avidya forest. Take care. Take care. I've already caught those who were preparing to attack you in secret. Why, thank you. Even if some criminals did slip through our fingers, they wouldn't know that you were involved in the case, so you can relax. Even if they did, we can handle the sheriff.
But you.
It's still not time for me to rest yet. Those who died have fulfilled their wishes, but those who are alive, sure. But if you don't rest, you will die, so please rest. I've been thinking about what Taj said in the Court of Desolation these last few days. His words were not empty. People do change, and no belief can completely resist the erosion of time. Yeah, I just hope that my own change will come slowly, so that I can press on a little further. That way, those who see me as their superior and those who are following in my footsteps will learn courage from my example. Yeah. Just as I gained courage from my own superiors and my partner. Yeah. I hope it will make you happy, Cyno. I'll be fine. I'm also enjoying my chat with you right now, you know. Yeah, you can chat with us anytime. And play the TCG. You know what? Just call it Genshin Yu-Gi-Oh! There are many things I feel better about once I start to talk about them. Many people want to go to the desert to offer condolences for Taj, but I didn't share details with anyone. I'd prefer to avoid revealing the location of the Court of Desolation. One day I'll gather some flowers that grow in arid desert conditions, and then I was hoping you'd join me in planting them on the remains of the Court of Desolation. Of course, anytime. We can go together. That's the end of this one. The briefcase. What? A briefcase? Also, I'm gonna actually check. Yeah, I have so many things that I still need to play, which is why I'm like, oh, I have so much. I have so much. This is also why I'm like playing this. But okay, I think next week I'm gonna do the Alhaim. I realized that's not his, but this one. I'm gonna do his. I'm gonna do Mr. Vocaloid's uh, thing because I'm really curious, and I've heard that there's maybe some ship um potential in there, and since it's Pride Month, I thought I might. Um, but yeah, I think that will be more or less the end of today's stream. But thank you for hanging out with me, and it was really fun. And yeah, if you ever feel like it again, please come by again. And I forgot that's not how I do this. I'm slightly. I think I'm getting tired. But anyway, now and ready for school tomorrow. And then thank you for hanging out.